Hey team, hope everybody's having a good day. Our next analysis is on Euro Pound. Now, the nature of these pairs, we have to have our risk on, okay? We have to lower our risk for every entry. Also, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, they filed a formal complaint trying to get impeachment against Trump, okay? This is why we're seeing the markets be choppy, all right? It affects the Asian markets. Of course, it affects the US market, which in turn affects everybody, okay? So pull out the Euro Pound chart. We're going through this together. All right, starting on the monthly, as usual, what do we look for? We look to identify area sensitivity. We identified our monthly upper zone, our monthly lower zone. We see horizontal sell pressure, horizontal buy pressure. We identified a monthly downtrend. We see lower highs. So let's talk flow. We see buy strength, okay? Strong buy control, breaking this downtrend to the upside. But what do we see? We see sell protection at our monthly upper zone to the downside. This is expected and gives us a good idea that price is respecting this area, and we will likely not see a break to the upside, okay? This is strong sell pressure. Price tried to break to the upside 3 times, and we know that there was a lot of bullish pressure to the upside because we fail to see a completion of exhaustion after this push breaking this downtrend to the upside. What we usually would see if there was normal pressure is a push, complete exhaustion, and then a continuational push to the upside. But what do we see on the monthly? Failure of complete exhaustion, continuational push to the upside. Price many times tried to break to the upside and failed to do so, just like it did most recently, and will continue to fail to do so. So taking it down to the weekly, we need to keep that in mind. Down to the weekly, we identified our weekly lower zone, horizontal buy sensitivity. Now what happens when we have sell protection to the downside, when we have buy protection to the upside on a horizontal level? That's right, we are on a weekly consolidation period. So what is a weekly time frame telling us? Well, as mentioned, sell protection to the upside. Now we see a strong push here, most recently off our monthly upper zone, breaking beneath previous high, telling us that this is a push because this is area of sensitivity, okay? So what's after a push to the downside? That's right, an exhaustion to the upside, where then we're looking for a potential continuational push to the downside. But we are on the weekly time frame. So maybe there's an opportunity to capitalize on this exhaustion if price gives us an opportunity for entry. And then after we capitalize on this exhaustion, we look to capitalize on the continuational push to the downside. So let's take it to the daily for a closer look. All right, onto the daily. We identified our daily upper and our daily lower zone. Why? Because when we pull it back to the weekly, we will see horizontal sell and buy pressure prior to our monthly upper zone. So this is our daily upper, our daily lower zone, and this is how it looks. This is how it looks on the weekly, and this is how our daily zones look on the daily. So as mentioned, this is a push to the downside. Why is this considered a push? Because it broke beneath area of previous sell sensitivity. We know that this is an area of sensitivity, so this break beneath our daily upper zone tells us that bears have control. What's after a push to the downside? That's right, an exhaustion to the upside, and we're looking to capitalize, as mentioned, on this exhaustion to the upside to our daily upper zone before we see sell pressure, and then we look to capitalize on this continuational push to the downside. So now let's take it to the 4-hour for potential entry. All right, down to the 4-hour. Again, here's this higher time frame push to the downside, and we are looking to capitalize on a higher time frame exhaustion. Now on the 4-hour time frame, you see a push breaking beneath our daily upper zone. You see an exhaustion and a continuational push. But as mentioned, every time frame has its own push and exhaustion cycle. We are looking to capitalize on a higher time frame push and exhaustion cycle. So we don't care about the 4-hour time frame push and exhaustion cycle. We are caring about the monthly and the weekly push and exhaustion cycle. All right, down to the hour for potential entry. Okay, taking it to the hourly time frame, we identified our 1-hour downtrend as we identify respected lower highs. Now this is good because it gives us an area of sensitivity for potential entry at completion of exhaustion. So we have our 1-hour downtrend and we see a break to the upside. This break is considered a push. What's after a push to the upside? That's right, an exhaustion to the downside, where then we're looking for price action confirmation before entry to the upside. So that would be a bullish engulfing candle close. Now, what would make this trade invalid? Only two scenarios. Here we see completion of a push. If we fail to see exhaustion and price just continues to the upside, that means this trade is invalid because risk reward gets altered and we don't have a good entry. The second scenario that would make this trade invalid is if we do not find buy sensitivity at completion of exhaustion. So as mentioned, here's our push, here's exhaustion. If we do not find buy sensitivity, or aka buy confirmation, and price just continues to the downside, this trade becomes invalid because we know that there's not enough buy pressure for a continuational push to the upside. Now, this scenario has the highest probability of making price invalid. Why? Because we know that price has yet to reach its daily lower zone, meaning that this could be another pin bar and continuational push to the downside. So we have to be prepared for this. Now, this is why winners will enter at completion of exhaustion and losers will enter at completion of a push. This is all the difference. All right, team, that's it for today. Remember, lots of political uncertainty, fundamental uncertainty. So we have to have our risk on, execute on patience, and welcome to the team, all our new members. Have a great day.